Welcome to Circle of Hearts Radio. Journey with Grandmother Allayah as she enters her magical world of relics, sacred sites, and ancient crystal skulls. Meet with exciting trailblazer authors and individuals shifting the consciousness of humanity. Send her your questions to be answered on air on her monthly segment, Ask the Oracle. And now your host, Grandmother Allayah, in the sanctuary on the airwaves on OMTimes Radio.
Welcome to the Circle of Hearts Radio on OMTimes Media. Welcome to my sanctuary here, and today we honor the Mother's energies. It was always interesting. People that have followed this show know that I always am driven by spirit, and I usually schedule the shows a few weeks ahead of time, a few months ago, and what had happened is in my head, through guidance, I had heard that I need to have a special energy to be shared on the airwaves on Mother's Day. And then I heard the name Shekinah Rose. Now, I have not met this beautiful soul prior to this. And I sent off this email introducing myself, and I said, Spirit has guided me to ask you, would you please do a show with me on Mother's Day? You know, because the energies are so important. And she agreed. And I was just talking to her in pre-show. I said, this is divinely orchestrated, because normally if somebody says, you know, would you do this because, you know, I heard a voice in my head, people would say, oh my God, you know, she's really losing this. But this is how this particular show and other shows like it are brought forth, and people come on the show. It's purely through spiritual guidance. Now, today I'd like you to introduce, some of you may know her, and some in other countries may not, Shekinah Rose. Shekinah, how are you today?
I'm doing really well, really well.
That's good.
Thank you.
Let's see, where can we even start? I know you're in Arizona now, but let's start with basics. How did you come to channel Shekinah?
Well, first of all, Allayah, thank you for listening to your intuition and your guidance and connecting with me. That's just very powerful, very sacred. It's kind of how we restore the essence, you know, our intuitive essence, you know, the mother frequency, our divine frequency. So I feel very connected to this and to do this today and feel very powerful. The energies today, and what you were speaking of, I love that, what you were saying about creating community. So important in creating community on the airways, and creating community, you know, in our lives in this way. That is just so important, and that's how it happens, by us aligning and connecting and listening to our intuition. And today we are connecting in that this, you know, honoring the sacred divine feminine, and that's how we begin. That's how it happens. This is how it's created. We trust in that. We trust in that, the true essence of what we're getting, and then it is restored within us. And the sacred divine feminine, the Shekinah, I know we kind of pronounce it. There's different pronunciations of Shekinah, Shekinah, and her essence has come to me most of my life. It is, I believe, and you know, we spoke before about these things, is that it kind of a predetermined through my soul that would be part of the expression here, and at certain times when it's ready, and when we are ready, when I'm ready to step more into that understanding within my heart and spirit, then those things appear. And you know, the sacred divine feminine, the goddess, and when I say the goddess, I kind of speak of her whole essence. The goddess is not limited, to me. It's Gaia, it's Mother
Right.
Mary, it's Shekinah, it's creation, it's the earth. And Shekinah particularly showed up in my life. She came to me, and the goddess as well. She literally showed up and said, I want to connect with you. And she showed up, the Shekinah, and she said to me, I was already connected with the goddess. The goddess had appeared to me in her essence. And I got very connected to the goddess and the many ways of connecting to the goddess, and with sacred sisters and through the priestess and the different forms and ways. But when Shekinah came very powerfully and said, I want to speak to you. Sit down here. Sit down right now. I want to speak to you. And she just appeared, and like in this huge flame. And she said to me that who I spoke of, the goddess that I've been speaking of, is the Shekinah. And it was like these flames came out. All these different flames came out, and they were flames of everything that I have known about the goddess, the sacred divine feminine, Mother Mary, Kuan Yin, and myself included. And she put out all these flames and then the flame went as one. And she said, I am the one flame of Shekinah. And it just so empowered my beingness and my essence. And also I feel as though when I sing the language of light, that it's through her essence that it comes through.
I was going to say, I totally agree. People, like I said, I think they have a misinterpretation on the average of the word goddess. It's so isolated. They're not looking at it, from a broader spectrum, because I usually use the word when I channel something through the Divine Mother of the World energies, which include every culture, every, feminine aspect, every feminine aspect of religions like Mother Mary, Kuan Yin. Just the same thing you said, but now we're talking about a larger expansive energy that holds all these little individuals, which, like you said, it's one huge flame with all these other offshoot flames, and it becomes one. So I think that was really important to, bring out, because people isolate that word goddess and they think of individual things. They're not thinking of the feminine aspect of source, which is here today.
Yes, I like the way that you said that, the feminine aspect of source. And Shekinah, and that's what Shekinah is recognized as the Holy Spirit, and that spirit essence of the sacred divine feminine, within it and within us and within life. Yeah.
What I found is usually when I hear of Shekinah, I think of the white dove, because when we were talking, we find so much connections between ourselves. My website is a sanctuary of the white dove. Mm-hmm. I work with the Divine Mother of the World energy. So we're two different souls here on earth, but bringing forth the same energy. And today we're on this airwaves together. So this is pretty, it's pretty amazing.
And I want to share that because of this powerful day, and because the great universal mother has showed up in her many forms today through us and with the earth, is that I know that this time in this life is of service, and that my soul wished to serve in the highest way that I could upon this planet for humanity and for the earth. And the greatest way that I could do this was through her essence. And because I think, as many of us know, is that at this time, much is being restored upon the earth. When we speak about the new earth, when we speak about these things, it is, the restoration of our truth, of the essence that has been lost. Mm-hmm. And the sacred divine feminine, and call her the Shekinah, and call her the goddess, call her the care of our children, call it the care of earth, call it the care and the love for each other. All of those aspects have been, are needed to be reawakened in women, the healing within, our women. That needs to be, healed and whole. And within our connections, within our relationships, within the earth, and how we treat the earth and with each other. And so that is the reason I feel that she comes to me, that we had an agreement that was the greatest way that I could assist, this to serve. And many are being called, particularly to work with, the Divine Mother and the Sacred Divine Feminine, and men as well. Men are also awakening to that within themselves, and also seeing that, within women, that sacredness within women and that reconnection. So I feel that it's something that is been requested within the hearts of humanity, requested within Gaia, that this come about and this be restored. And that is why I connect in this way, because my soul agreed to do that work, to do that service.
Yeah, I know part of your service is through your voice. Now, we're going to be coming up on a break very, very shortly. And then we're going to go into about the language of light, which is part of your service. You're the physical manifestation. You're the vocal. So everybody hold on, and we'll go into this explanation a little bit further in the next segment.
OMTimes Radio, your conscious lifestyle on steroids. OMTimes Magazine is one of the leading online content providers of positivity, wellness, and personal empowerment. A philanthropic organization, their net proceeds are funneled to support worldwide charity initiatives via Humanity Healing International. Through their commitment to creating community and providing conscious content, they aspire to uplift humanity on a global scale. OMTimes, co-creating a more conscious lifestyle.
Do you have time to read that inspiring book or that blog post you've been meaning to get to? In your busy world, how do you improve yourself and keep your life going? I'm Lisa Kay, and my Between Heaven and Earth radio show can transform your life just by listening. Be uplifted with inspiring topics, positive stories, and ideas that really work. Between Heaven and Earth radio is conscious living for your soul, every Wednesday at 4 p.m. Eastern Time.
Imagine receiving healing, vibration-raising energy as you listen to the radio. Energy that flows effortlessly to you. Imagine exploring all things metaphysical, sharing in an ongoing adventure. Join me, Karen Smoot, along with my co-hosts Lisa Victorson and Wendy Weber for Immersion into Source, every Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on Om Radio.
Being a radio host on IOM-FM allows you to build your show on a rich platform with the power of the Internet to fulfill your outreach goals and connect with a very specialized and global online audience, unlimited by time and distance. OMTimes Radio will provide you with web relevance, a recognizable conscious brand, and with the standard of excellence that has accompanied every single OMTimes endeavor. Host your show with OMTimes Radio Network. Free your mind. Expand your soul. OMTimes Radio. IOM-FM.
Well, we're back with Shekinah Rose, and I was thinking of what that really means, the mother of the rose rays. That's a beautiful thought, and actually, that's very much the path of the rose is a whole nother subject. Maybe we can go into on another show. But what I'd like to do right now is to give a little bit of a background of what you're going to be doing in a few minutes. What is the language of light that you are bringing through?
What I bring through the sacred language, it's a sacred language, and Spirit has told me that what I did was called the language of light. And when I went in one of the near-death experiences, I was able to hear very beautiful, you call it the language of light or the music of the spheres, that seemed to attune me even more to this. The language of light is what our soul recognizes as a higher language within the body, within the cells. It is a powerful creation of the divine light source. It is something that we know that is transcendent, that our soul recognize. It also it heals, it transforms, it transcends, and it is the power of creation. I mean, the language of light, very much so, is very divine, and it does and can create miracles and create extraordinary beauty. Because I was also at the Concert of Souls when this planet was seeded, and what I saw, what I experienced was exactly that. It was through the language of light that we were seated, and everything was seated upon this planet. The thing I do want to share about this language of light is that I've experienced this more over the last years, and even in the last years, this acceleration and this awakening. There seems to be many, many beings upon this planet at this time that are spontaneously or awakening or connecting, realigning with this ancient sacred language of a true essence of who they are. So many beings that I know will come to me and connect with me and tell me that this is happening to them, that they are connecting in the language of light, that it feels powerful to them. And the language of light is spoken about in the Keys of Enoch. And in the Keys of Enoch is one of the ancient Dead Sea Scrolls that was actually taken out of the Bible, which I just found out recently. I knew it was in the Dead Sea Scrolls, but they had taken it out of the Bible. And what it says in there is that this sacred language came from the mother's tongue, and that this will be restored. This will come back to us, that those things that were taken away, that is of our divinity, of our truth, of our God essence, of our sovereignty, our divine tools of our truth will be restored and returned. And it is returning. This language of light, this transcendence, this beauty within ourselves. And we are still coming into an understanding of what this language of light is, and how sacred and how powerful, and how it is a part of all of us, how it is transcendence, how it connects us, how it aligns us beyond whatever language that we speak or whoever that we are. It transcends all of that, and a unity, alignment of oneness, of light. And also I also feel that a physicist has studied my tones and my singing, and which I didn't want him to do. It was kind of spirit orchestrated, and he did all these studies on the language that I did. And the studies came back, and this was a little while ago, that I sang in the Ancient Solfeggio scale. And the Ancient Solfeggio scale are these lost, ancient, 6 pure tonal notes of God, of creation, that connect us to Source. And that was taken away from us by Pope Gregory. And when it was like 59, 604 AD. That's when he was reigned, and it presumed that he changed the musical scale. So the language of light has that the ancient Solfeggio frequencies that are the 6 pure tonal notes of creation. Many people may be more familiar with the 528 Hz Miracle and Love DNA transformation repair, and I feel that the Solfeggio frequency, that is those prophecies as well coming back to us, those things being restored to us so that we can become whole and that we truly can be these beings that create this world of peace, harmony, and light, and truth, and unity, because our tools, our divinity has come back online.
Do you think it's because, over the years, I think you've watched it too, people are in the 60s, there was an opening up, but then everything went back to the materialistic world. And now, through all that's happening again, we're going through a cycle, and people's hearts are opening up. And that seems to be the common denominator here. That's why I call the show The Circle of Hearts, community of heart-centered people. Because their hearts are opening, we're coming back to our original blueprint, our total awakening of self. Have you noticed this in, your growth also, or?
Absolutely, and I agree with you with that opening that occurred at that time, and even though things shifted the way that they did, because then there came the 80s,
yeah,
and different, and then but that still occurred. That was still an opening that had happened, and very much so. It's very evident to myself and to what I've seen that there is and there has been this like in the 60s, but different. This awakening, this portal, this acceleration. It's really acceleration. I say that it's like living many lifetimes in one, healing tons of karma with many people in one lifetime, because we have this opportunity. And as you said, very much so, is everything seems to be through the heart. Everything seems to be through what I work through is the higher heart. And I literally feel I have physical sensations within my higher heart. I can feel it. I can physically feel it, and when I'm feeling it as well, I can feel this like opening occurring within me, and how I feel connected, and my higher thoughts, and these connections, and that's what I feel is happening. That it is very real, and it's very true. That it's very tangible. This higher heart, this rosary, this awakening of love that is within ourselves. Absolutely, Allayah.
And I think people need to hear this, because everybody's going through so much, and they have physical symptoms. And I think part of the ascension is, it's not like you're going into a mystery school and all of a sudden you're isolated and you're getting all this information. This is a mass awakening, so it happens gradual. And then on shows like this and other shows on OM and whatever, there are people that come out to speak. And they're the trailblazers. They're the ones that are saying, it's okay, let's walk into this next step gently. Because if it went too fast, the world's crazy now. Can you imagine if all of a sudden everybody woke up and they started seeing between dimensions and star beings and whatever? It would be total panic on the world. But we're doing this on a very gradual basis. And in the next segment, which is going to be coming up, I use the word Shekinah, is with Shekina Rose. She's going to give us, what would you call it, an activation or a heart-opening experience through your voice?
Yes. Beautiful.
Yeah. I was going to say, I was going to try to figure out, exactly what, I think it's just the whole thing of, if you have a chance, sit down, relax, and after the next break here, just close your eyes and listen and experience. And it's going to be very exciting. And I think this is the purpose of us all coming together, as far as us being on the airwaves, and for you who are listening, because you have the hearts open to listen and the minds open to listen. And as you change, this is why I keep on telling everybody, you can't change other people, but once you change something within yourselves, that creates a ripple effect. So this is, I'm just kind of talking along here while we come to our next break. I want you just prepare, open your hearts, and listen to the beautiful celestial music through Shekinah's voice.
Bringing you the best of the conscious minds in the world. OMTimes Radio, your conscious lifestyle on steroids. As difficult as it is to believe, there are places in Africa where human traffickers sell albino children and their body parts for use in magic rituals. Humanity Healing International is actively working in Uganda to change this paradigm. The Albino Rescue Project finds albino children who are at risk and places them in safe schools and environments where they can learn and grow free from fear. To learn more or to sponsor a child, visit humanityhealing.org. Humanity Healing is where your heart is.
Matt Connerton here. Join Jen Coffey and I twice a week for Matt Connerton Unleashed, a political talk show that's a little different than what you're used to. No liberal or conservative agenda here, just an honest dialogue about truth and how things really work in the world of politics. Matt Connerton Unleashed, every Tuesday and Thursday night at 11 p.m. Eastern on OMTimes Radio.
The truth is, you can't change the world if you're broke. I know. I've tried. Isn't it time you turned your life's calling into a profitable, freedom-based business? I'm Michelle Barr. Join me every Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern for Sacred Success.
Host your show on IOM-FM, the radio network of OMTimes Media, one of the more recognized brand names in the conscious community, and is backed by the extensive marketing reach of OMTimes. Hosting a show on IOM-FM immediately connects you with our extensive dedicated community. Free your mind. Expand your soul. OMTimes Radio. IOM-FM.
Well, we're back. Now, take a deep breath, everybody. Sit quietly with your eyes closed and open your heart and receive this blessing from the Mother Goddess Shekinah.
Thank you. Tamasandate. ask for, in an archangel chamber of love, light, healing, and protection, Gaia Shekinah, power of the blue ray, power of the rose ray, and the violet flame, at the highest point where all of our souls meet Source God creation and alignment with harmony, truth, love, light, healing, and transcendence. And what is important for you, from your heart's desire, for you to receive at this time. And we say that this will be done through grace and ease, and this will be done in no entanglements and no attachments, for the highest and greatest good of the hearts of all of life everywhere. Ros marate, krishamalata, ulamali kishamalata, mora malai, kushmalatara sonati, kromahalatara yinamata. Shiran malarekra, Vishra mahale, Vuloka mare, Dramahat sata, Hela nair, Halakramale, Willa maharishanhane, Willa mahavare krisamala shirakiranai, Willa mahale kiris havala, Nira hava hena hakraronaha, Rusramale grekra, Tramata risranalo, Urukara Yisrael, Irisrahan Norevala, in the Arich Samaris Arur Malia, Tris Omaha, Vares Adeshina Aurora, Vahalo, Krisramanasra, that is somebody is Jabanatarea.
Wow. Are you there?
Yes.
While you were, I said, singing, my own visualization, I saw Kuan Yin, Mother Mary, and Isis sitting together in a circle. And in the middle was a beautiful rose that just, as you were singing, it was opening up from a bud. And as it opened up, all these beautiful little sparkles of light were going into the atmosphere and just constantly filling it as you were singing. So it was a beautiful visualization that I was getting anyhow.
Oh, beautiful. And just one little more. There's one little blessing that is coming forth.
Of course.
Allayah Honoras Amahevakan. Allayah Shekina Olomari Elakurshumata. Mother Mary Grog Amale Shavaha Moriti Shunatai. Mary Magdalene Krush Amalevi Kiriga Mahalatai. Kuan Yin Karshuro Malavari Groma Ish Amatalakeha. Gaia Great Molira Shumarid Kiri Kramhahirata. Tara Kromahala Taris Olam Vish Duduk in Malat Eiras Ama Yirikirataha. Isis Rus Amal Kirish Morata Irikurush Malat Irohamat Irata. Athena Kurush Amabrish Amalarokuri Anabades Avalat Umurikieka. Kali Kurush Valomristetel Turuma Ikish Analao Ukima at Ish Amate. Hatter Aluk Amalitas Amali Ichinak Ik Ab at As Omate. Seraphim Lolaris of Rukish Antara Luk Ana Ichichiam Tureke. Elohim Uruk Alas of Luch Andarekara Ishint Ol Amahe Ikich at A. All of the angels of the source of creational source. Kamat it is Elal Norik it is Amal Dichichikanata. Davis, natural kingdom, the natural kingdom of Gaia. Rok ras avrishita ramaras rikarish amaravalarish dunodara rurkiras avrishinity gura av ishamarek elasarosum. The hearts of humanity, all hearts everywhere of humanity, of the earth. Ruk as avrish umnaledit alkachitana reval ish ag avrishina al at. The hearts of life, of everywhere, of all source, of all that is. Kuras avrishindaral otomalekit als vishinala o kamatita. Unadamaralo sandavala krona voramora. Nirona nuia la romala. Una vara ro grandari anda romala. Grandala luia na rola grandalu. Alu. Alu.
Wow. Again, like I said, I'm very visual, and I like to share this with all our listeners. As she sang, first I saw this. If you can imagine, put yourself in your mindset, we're out in space among all the stars, and there we have Gaia, our beautiful planet of water. And I saw this white light coming toward her. And as I saw the white light, it turns into this beautiful dove with extended, wings. And the wings encircle Gaia. And from the beautiful planet of water, now I see this beautiful red heart. Physically, the beating, is just the symbolic heart, and it's just the dove holding the heart. So as all this she was singing, the mother is embracing us. So I just needed to give you that visual that I saw while you were doing this.
Thank you for sharing that. Thank you.
Yeah, today's purpose was to, I really believe spiritually, it was to create a sense of a holding us. The world is hurting so much, and when we hurt, who do we go to? We go to the mother. And the mother is showing us through this energy and through the visualizations and through Shekinah's beautiful vocals. She's showing us we're being embraced by her. So there was very strong purpose of all this happening on this particular day, to give out hope that the Mother does watch us and she is embracing all her children. And we're not all alone in this. All we have to do is just breathe and trust and hear her call. That's I know, we're both kind of like, wow. It's just the energy is so profound today. I know we have about 2 minutes to commercial break. And after this break, if you have a pad and paper, I'll have, Shekinah please to give you areas where you can contact her if you wish to get involved with her work, with the Mother energies, the source of all. Words seem so inadequate. I don't know if you feel that. I'm just kind of fumbling along here. It's just after the experience and the sound, to put label or try to put words to it, it's just, it's not working.
Allayah, you speak well. You speak beautiful words, and I thank you for those words that you speak. Thank you.
It's just, to see. I've always been blessed with sight, and to see what is actually happening, that, it's not a fantasy. In all my years, I do see these things, and I had to share them so others may experience that. Well, we'll go to the next commercial. Okay.
Bringing you the best of the conscious minds in the world. OMTimes Radio. Your conscious lifestyle on steroids. What if business could be fun? What if business is the adventure of living? What are you choosing? Where do you do business that makes it easier, more fun, or more joyful for you? We'd love to see where you do business. Connect with us on Instagram at Joy of Business or Twitter at Joy of Business. And share your pictures with hashtags BusinessDoneWhere and Joy of Business. Let's change the world with business.
Do you want to be a better communicator? Do you want to better connect with the important people in your life? Do you want to enrich your relationships? If so, join me, Matthew Cooper, on the Positive Control System Show every Wednesday evening at 11 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time on OMTimes Radio. I'll meet you there.
Join Elliot Jollish, the business therapist, each Tuesday at 5 p.m. Eastern for the Elliot Jollish Hour, as he interviews business experts on your behalf. And you're invited to email your business questions to questions@ecjgroup.com for answers, live, on air every Tuesday at 5 p.m. Eastern on the Elliot Jollish Hour. Being a radio host on IOM-FM allows you to build your show on a rich platform with the power of the internet to fulfill your outreach goals and connect with a very specialized and global online audience, unlimited by time and distance. OMTimes Radio will provide you with web relevance, a recognizable conscious brand, and with the standard of excellence that has accompanied every single OMTimes endeavor. Host your show with OMTimes Radio Network. Free your mind. Expand your soul. OMTimes Radio. IOM-FM.
Well, we're back again. As I always say, these shows go far too quickly. We're in our last 15 minutes. Shekinah, that's easier for me to say. You're now located in Arizona. You're building a community, or people are drawn to you out there for this work?
Yes, and in Sedona, Arizona. And Sedona is, many know that Sedona is a very powerful vortex place, and many vortexes, and gorgeous, gorgeous red rock formations. It's a pretty extraordinary place, and people are drawn from all over the world, and they come here, and there's a lot of incredible activity of spirituality and heightened energies here. And yes, the people do come, and I do see clients in person. Most of my clients have always been on the phone, but because I live here, I get an opportunity to meet some amazing, wonderful people. And yes, so I am in Sedona, Arizona, and living in the vortex, and I do the sacred work here. I work with the language of light and also the interdimensional sacred tools from the higher realms, and our galactic family. We've been co-collaborating together with some amazing devices that attunes us and enlightens us as well, that have come back as well, these tools. And I do this work on the phone. I do soul readings and do the language of light, DNA healing and reconnection, and goddess attunements, and of course the rose ray anointing and blessing. So a few things.
I know a lot of people have been attracted or found a lot of connection to a lot of the articles you've written about the Blue Ray empaths.
Yes. If
we have a little bit of time, can you explain that to people?
Yes, my heart spirit is just so grateful that I'm a part of that, and I channel for the Blue Ray, and I channel for the Blue Ray beings, and they are ultra sensitive empathic star beings that have a purpose and a mission here, and I bring out channels every month for to empower about what's happening through the new earth and what's happening and in particular, but for the sensitive empathic star beings, and who you are. A lot of the Blue Rays were labeled indigos, so to give kind of a similarity or kind of a place. But the Blue Rays, their demeanors, there's a little bit of a difference, but they're very empathic, very sensitive. They know that they're not from here, that we know that we're from the stars. We've always known that, and we have service to do here. That's very important. And so these channels assist, work through the Blue Ray, work through Shekinah to empower and assist about what's happening, about the ascension symptoms and how to empower us and with the earth. And so I definitely work with the Blue Rays of the world, yes.
I was going to say, a lot of the information can be found on your site. Now, can you give that website to everybody?
Yes. It is www.shekinahspeaks.com. That's Shekinah, speaks with an S.com, and you can go there. And the channels are also come out on Spirit Library and on Lightworkers. So there's different ways you can get that, and on my site as well, and can connect that. And you can also just click on the little box and say that you want to be a part of the newsletter, and that every month. I don't send out a lot. Every month or every 2 months, I send out a newsletter, and it has more information, has the channel, the latest updates of what's going on and what we're going through. It seems to specialize more on, through the sacred divine feminine, because we're so, we feel so deeply. We have a very deep feeling, empathic nature, and how to assist that and what's going on.
Well, I know, like I said, that's how originally I came across, I think on the Spirit Library, long time ago. Okay. I came across one of your channels, and then some of the articles on the Blue Ray, I'm going, this is good, because it defines more. People don't always if you lump them under a particular label, which I think we're getting out of, like indigo, they go, okay, well, indigo are more assertive, they're, troublemakers, rebel rousers, changing society, etc. But when you brought out the article on the Blue Ray, people are saying, yes, that's me. I'm very sensitive. I take in all the energies from around. It really helped people understand what was going around them instead of just giving them this generic label and trying to, struggle. Okay, where do I fit in here? So, I would recommend, going to her website and finding the newsletter, or because there's a lot of information there. Even you have a video and a little activation there, which I've listened to, which is very powerful. And, take advantage of all, the information that's, she's coming out with. These interviews we have are so short. That's why I usually make sure, I try to ask the guests, to come back in the future so we can focus on something more specific. But, today was to bring her voice out to the world, to bring the heart activation out on the specific Mother's Day, which I think is so needed. And just looking at my own visuals while, she's singing, I'm going, something really happened there. And I think people will feel it, for the people that have chosen to listen today, or, this will be on podcast. You can listen to it later. So, do you foresee any other projects before we go that you're going to be getting involved in, or is it just deeper work with the Shekinah?
It's the language of light, and more videos that can really empower, and that are coming from the vortex, and more visuals. How the dimensions are shifting, and showing these, the visuals of what's happening. Like you said, we're able to see this in the realms and the dimensions of what's happening. So there are more videos to be available, to be healed, to be activated. And I've been working with the Pleiades. We've been working together out here interdimensionally through the higher realms, bringing these tools forth to assist, to assist humanity, and they seem very, very sacred and very powerful. So I'm very much working within that, and the other beings as well, working together. And yeah, more to come, because the community and the connection is so important. That goes without saying. That has to be. That's what matters, is our connection, and us being able to connect in these many ways, and building community. Absolutely, that's also a part of it, very much so, that we're doing here. I'm doing here.
It's basically, again, like I say, it's the circle of hearts. If you can imagine all these little hearts in a circle, with one big heart in the middle. Now, the big heart in the middle is Gaia. And all these other, no matter where you are, if you have your own open-hearted community, people you deal with, just in a natural way, you're creating something in this world. So this is so important. People often say, well, what can I do? They don't realize just opening up their hearts is like a major, major thing on this planet. So, in the last few minutes, I thank you, and I shall be talking to you in a bit. I really appreciate this. This was a very awesome hour. I just want to add a quick channel that I, a few years ago, that I want to bring forth today that seems very relevant. I had made a grid with my ancient crystal skull, the white tar, and 2 ancient Kuan-Yins I have. And it was a time of turbulence and war at that time. And we put this out. And this is the channel that came through. But what's important, the words are, we're all somebody's child. Now, I made this grid again. in which I have it in my home, and, I'm setting up with this intention. But let me just read this to you. The white tar, her age is timeless. Her message to us today is priceless. Very recently came to the realization that all life forms on Gaia or somebody's baby. The worry and the stress of one parent is all the same. And so are the prayers and hopes for the safety and an end to the situation that will cost no more anybody else's lives. Together we've come up with a formula to unite with all these prayers and wishes into one strong voice, firm, resolute intention to end all situations in such a way that all involved can make it back to their families safe and sound and alive. The instinct to keep the children safe, something born of love and rises above national and personal ego, greed, and driven goals. The two Kuan Yins surround the white tar as holding the energies of the mother's love and compassion for this world and all life. Thus the energies of the mothers and fathers all over who pray for their sons and daughters is united with these three figures that hold the energy as old as time itself. It's the love that requires no religion because it's ingrained in each person to want all the best for their children, the ones that will carry their own light and memory forward. So remember, we bring our children into the world out of love, and let's keep this world safe. Thank you.
Thank you.
And again, from our hearts to yours, blessings this coming week.
Thank you.